Everyone, Paul here. Today, what I want to look at is more of those individual companies that are part of the S&P 500. So if you've seen my last video, and what I want to kind of do is pinpoint a couple of companies that are part of the S&P. Now, a lot of people will trade the S&P, but it is violent at times. So what I want to do is kind of go specifically into certain companies to see basically how much it moves per day, and generally how much you can make trading that. You can buy into it if you want, but the purpose of the video is to look at it on a option trader view and to see how much it basically moves, how much it basically would cost you for options, and how much you potentially can make by trading it. So today we're going to be looking at a company part of the S&P. It's Waste Management. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, what I want to do is I want to see how much the options would be, how much it would cost for options. So right now, what we can take really out of the Waste Management is we want to look at everything on a day, and basically the direction that it crossed is the direction you focus on. So on the day it crossed, and unless these two lines cross back down, it will shift into a put. But the focus here is to do calls because the trend is going up. So real quickly, I want to go look at the best option on how much the options would cost on Robinhood. Okay, so let's just say we want to do an option, and since we know the trend is going up, we want to focus on that. So we can go out to June 20th, which is the earliest. June 20th is, it's like a month out. These contracts are about a month out. You can only get a month out on these. So when you're buying these contracts, you'll be buying for a month, basically. So basically, let's just look at the best deal here. Okay, so for some reason the in the money is pretty expensive. So it's looking to cost you probably, because you're basically paying for a month here, because it expires on 6/20. This expires on 6/20, which is next month. So when you do options for Waste Management, you're basically buying a month out contract. So it doesn't look like it goes intraday here. So when you want to do Waste Management, just the cheapest you can go here is a month. So you would have to have a little bit saved up to get the best results here. But I would buy closest to this dot as possible. So we're looking around, this is $4,600 to potentially about $5,000. So you are paying for an entire month, so just keep that in mind. And if the price goes up, you'll be in profit. So when you're doing options for Waste Management, you're basically buying a month out. There is no daily or weekly with this one. So let's real quickly look at the charts and see what we can get. Now, you won't be able to trade Waste Management unless you have around 4,000 to 5,000 for your trade. So let's real quickly look at it. We know the trend's going up, so we want to go to the hour here. Let's real quickly take a breakdown of day by day. Now, what you can do, and it's what I do for SPY, is, pay that 4 to 5 for the month. But when you're in profit, you can take profit, and then you can just rinse and repeat and reuse that. every time, buy a new contract, sell it, buy a new contract. That's the only way to do it on an intraday level, is to get the gain, sell it, and then get back in, basically. So, but the contracts are expensive. So let's real quickly look at see how much it moves on a daily here. This was Friday, so we got about it moved $4.81. So that you would in that range was about $4.81. So if you caught anything in between that range, you would have been in profit. Thursday here, you have about the same. And then you got this day here, this range. This was about a $7 move. So from what I could tell here is the price moves around $4 to $8 a day typically. Even if we look at these small days right here, this was, yeah, it's about $4 to $5 to $8 a day from what it looks like. So knowing that, you would have to, if you want to do this on a day, you would have to get in within that range for that day to make that. So let's real quickly look at this on a intraday level. Now, in order to do this on intraday, you would have to do in the money. You would have to use your 4 to 5 grand to get, as closest to that dot as possible. You'd have to get close to this dot as possible. Use 4 to 5 grand for the options. And then when you're in profit and you make, see, it moves about $5. So if this went to 235, you could sell around that point and make about $400, $500. And then just wait for the next signal and just do this over again. So for me, it's a good ones to do options. It has a lot of volume, but it is expensive because you do have to pay for a month out. So we got days like this one right here, which it was, well, this is the hour. We're on the hour now. So real quickly, so we know the trend's going up. So basically what I would do is I wouldn't buy here because, it's overbought. So it's due to come down. When we know that the trend's going up, I would just be looking at the stochastic for moments that it's going up. And I will come in, let's see, we caught this one right here. This would have been a good run. And this was a day right here. So if you entered with that 5,000 for the options contract for a month, now, yeah, the contract would last for a month, but you could get out in a day, and you could turn that 5,000 into $5,219 from this point. So you could sell at this point if you want. But then it would just look for your moments. So if you want to do this intraday, you're going to have to enter with a pretty big amount, and then you're just going to have to sell and then wait for your next option. So just keep reusing the same capital. Just because you're doing a month out does not mean you have to wait a month. But anyway, this is let's do a day here. We want to, since the trend's going up, we want to look at moments where the stochastic is going up. So we see one right here. This is a move right about here. The stochastic. In about 20 hours, you made $544. So you would have turned that 5,000 into 5,544. So anyway, waste management seems like a really good one for me, to add to your portfolio as far as an investment. This is just my opinion, not financial advice, but it seems like a strong asset. To do options with waste management, it's going to cost you $4 to $5 grand from what it looks like, for, because you have to pay a month out. But you don't have to wait it out for a month. You can if you want, but you can also sell. You can sell as soon as you're in profit. So from what we see in the numbers, if you get within the range, you can make anywhere from $300 to $400 to $500. So you could quickly, to me, it looks like a very good asset to look at as far as trading. It seems to have a lot of volume to it. So anyway, in my opinion, there seems to be a lot of good volume with it. So the only downside here is each time you buy an option for it, you have to wait. Well, you have to pay for a month out, which is, it'll add up to be pretty expensive. But you don't have to keep it running for that entire month. You can sell it whenever you want. But anyway, that's just looking at waste management. It seems to be a pretty good asset to make some pretty good, because there's a lot of good volume with it. It moves a lot to where it can make some pretty decent profit. But anyway, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys for future videos.